So,
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I'm so happy to do this and thrilled that you asked me.
of course. Okay, let's get right into it.
Yeah, let's.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Boundary Breakers. And boy, do we got some great plans for you today. This is our 22nd episode, if you can believe it, and we're joined by the unstoppable Luvia Petersen, who is not only an artist, but an actor, a director, and a musician who has been at the helm of Liquid Amber Tattoo for 23 years. Her journey is riveting, innovative, and shows her tenacity. We're creating a haven of female artists in a male dominated industry, and we're mastering multiple art forms. So, tune in with us today while we uncover the secrets of thriving against the odds and crafting unique paths in business and art. I'm your host, Piper McLean, and let's get right into it. Why don't you tell the
Ooh.
audience a little bit about yourself, Luvia?
That I'm like, I want to listen to this talk. That sounds great. Yeah, I mean, you said it. I wear a lot of hats.
Mm-hmm.
I think partially that's probably because of my undiagnosed ADHD, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I like to keep moving. I like new challenges. I get excited about things. I get excited about working with people. So I'm a business owner. I'm an actor. I'm a director. I'm a musician. Um, yeah, that's the brass tacks of it, and then all the offshoots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and those offshoots are where we're really going to delve in today because
Mm.
have being a jack of all trades is really something that a lot of people aspire uh to achieve, but not everyone gets around to it. So, to start us off, why don't we do a little bit of an exhibit about your business and then we can segue into some of your director work. So, tell us a little bit about Liquid Amber Tattoo.
Sure. Yeah, so we opened for business 24 years ago, actually, because oh my gosh, yeah, it's that just saying that out loud is nuts. Um, Justina and myself started the business after we went on a trip to Paris. We met this artist there. She was working in all sorts of mediums. She had sculptures and paintings in her studio, and right in the middle of it, she had a tattoo chair. And we were so taken aback by this. We both got tattooed by her. And she showed Justina, my business partner, how to use the tattoo machine a bit. And we came back to Vancouver just completely inspired. You know, they say it's hard for you to see yourself in a trade until you see yourself,
Mhm.
see someone
Yeah,
else doing it.
totally.
And that woman um, made us realize that it's possible for us. And
Mhm.
we hadn't seen many female women tattoo artists in Vancouver, so we thought let's create the space that we don't see. I think there were two women in Vancouver tattooing at that time. So we started our studio and it was revolutionary. You know, we were the unicorn of the bunch. When people found out we were a woman-led
Mhm.
studio, that in itself was just like mind-boggling. People would lean in.
Mhm.
Hold on a second. Women tattooing? Tell me
Yeah.
more. Like it, like we might as well have told them we were from outer space. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And that's how rare it was. Now, not so rare, thankfully.
Mhm. Yeah, so being that you and Justina kind of stepped in as a pioneer of this women taking over this male dominated industry, what was that like for starting out?
We had no idea what we were doing. We had no one to really show us the ropes. And I think that was a blessing
Mhm.
because we created a whole new way.
Mhm.
We Now I look back and I go, oh, we did everything quote unquote wrong for what a tattoo studio was. And I like I said, we because we didn't have a rule book, we built our own and we
Yeah.
just went with what we would want. And now I can, I can say all this time later, we're still different. We're not like a lot of other studios. How we run is different. And I think that makes us special. Not better, not worse. Special, different, unique, and it works for us.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. And now we've got 11 artists, five front of house staff, managers. We welcome guest artists from all over the world. And it's a place I'm proud of.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
You can bring your mom, your grandma, a first time tattoo receiver, and you know that they're going to be treated well with respect. There's no code, there's no cool factor to come into our studio. I find a lot of tattoo studios can be intimidating. That's
Yeah,
something
for
we didn't
sure.
want.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted people to just be able to walk in off the street and feel like they're at their friend's house almost.
Yeah,
That's what we try to do.
totally. And I love that kind of standard that you guys are setting because tattoos are obviously painful. If anyone out there has a tattoo, you know that you might try to, sound tough like it doesn't hurt, but it's uncomfortable for sure. So if any place should, feel like you're walking into a friend's house and offer that warm comfort, shouldn't it be somewhere that, you're going to be experiencing a little bit of pain?
Absolutely. You want to know that you're being taken care of. You want to
Mm-hmm.
know it's clean, it's safe, that your body's going to go through enough just sitting in the chair being tattooed. It's going to release a bunch of endorphins. But something special happens. I was talking about this with my hairdresser. When someone puts their hands on you, right? So like people open up to their hairdressers all the time. They tell them their life story. And it's because of that connection. And I've witnessed it time and time again. There's a connection that happens between the client and the artist that's really quite beautiful. For
Mm-hmm.
that hour or 6 hours, however long you're sitting, there's this quickly formed bond between the artist and the client that's really beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I love that you bring up this comfortability that hairstylists also offer.
Yeah.
Same connection with your nail artists that you have,
Oh, yeah.
or sometimes your bartenders or your cab drivers.
Yeah.
And like there's just something about feeling at home in these spaces that makes people feel like they can actually open up.
Yeah, and I think especially now we are seeking out experiences of connection because I don't know about you, but like it seems to me the world is so disconnected. So, yeah, you're right. Like there's something about being taken care of by these stewards, the taxi driver, the bartender, like you said, the server
Mm-hmm.
that's going to take your order and take care of you and make sure your water cup is filled. That act is sacred.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so we take that on at the studio with a lot of pride and responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And we want people to come back, and we want people to every time they look at their tattoo to be brought back to that warm feeling that they had at our studio. Listen, you can have the best tattoo on your arm, but if the experience was not pleasant,
You're gonna see it as not pleasant.
every time you look at it, it's,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's a reminder of pain and discomfort, not connection and well-being.
Yeah, I love that. And living in the digital age, there are so many different ways that we can portray these strong emotions. And I love that you have so much experience with directing and film. So I'd love to show the audience a little bit of your art through this sort of format as well,
Let's see
and
it.
kind of share the story behind it.
Okay. What you got for us, Piper?
Oh, I got it lined up.
Everything okay?
Yeah, just checking on Gabby.
You're obsessed.
Jen, you need to come out now. Your family just wants to show you how much they care. You can't stay in there forever.
Watch me!
Why are you acting like this is the end of the world?
No! Damn it! I knew you were judging me!
I've been trying to help you.
You don't help me, I help me!
You're right.
Why are you pushing me away?
Because this isn't gonna work out between us. It can't! You were biologically and socially predisposed to not want me anymore!
How can you be so shallow?
People care what women look like. You swipe left!
You want me to leave?
It was only gonna be a matter of time before you left anyway. If not today, then tomorrow or the next day.
Don't I get a choice?
No.
This didn't just happen to you. You... I'm sorry. I'll go.
You're good with him. Thanks. You don't baby talk. He likes you.
I don't have much experience with kids.
You don't need it.
It's this idea from your mom about me being the nanny I am.
Oh my god. I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, no. No, I don't mind. I want to stay and write. But I don't want to be a burden,
You're
so
not a burden.
Well, you know what I mean.
Well, Carrie would appreciate it. I mean, so would I, but for him, he needs to feel like you're not just crashing. Also, my mom is...
Not so cool with me being here.
She thinks you're like some kind of traveling hippie vagabond or something.
Well, I never really thought of myself like that, but it's kind of cool.
She's led a sheltered life.
It's really weird.
Unfortunately, not that weird around here.
Well, now you can say that I'm the nanny. That'd be normal, right? For you to have a nanny?
I think we can pull it off.
Okay.
Hey.
So, I picked up something that I think might put you in a better mood. Better?
$100?
I thought you'd like it.
I just quit my job. You understand that?
To be honest, not really. We didn't discuss it. You just went ahead and did it.
So I have to consult you about every decision I make now?
Well,
Is
when
that
it
what's going
involves
on?
your family, yeah, I think you probably should.
Every decision that I make is for you and Gabby. I'm allowed to make a decision for myself once in a while, okay? Okay?
Okay. I never
What?
said...
What do you want from me?
I just want you to be happy.
This one's gonna hurt. This could be the worst of it. This could be the time when my heart up and bursts from it. This one's gonna hurt. This one's gonna hurt.
Oh my God. Let me just say the amount of emotion you were able to emit from these like different actors and actresses. You really hit all the marks. Like we went through
Aw, thanks,
so many
Piper.
different feelings. Like
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about your process. How are you able to, make it so real?
Yeah, I mean, listen, you work with really good people, and they show up for you. And all those actors that I had the privilege to work with, they're just really good at what they do. And I'm an actor as well, so I think there's an implicit trust that happens on set. I've worked with directors that I joke they're basically just a second cinematographer. Like we're just props to them. They forget that we're feeling things, right? But every once in a while, you get a director that really understands the importance of trust. And artistry needs trust. For it to flourish, it needs an environment that it can expand and fail in. And it doesn't matter if I'm at the tattoo studio running that or I'm on set directing. I make sure that my artists know that they can fail. And in fact, I encourage it because it's only through a quote unquote, you swing for something hard and you fall. But in that moment, when you pick yourself back up, you discover something about yourself and you grow. And the art is the reward at the end of that
Yeah,
journey.
totally. And you saying that reminds me of that saying where it's you shoot for the moon and land among the stars.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
So like why play it safe? Why play it small? I think I saw Jim Carrey talk about this. He was talking about his dad and how his dad wanted to be an artist or something, but decided to take the safe route and become an accountant. Do you remember
yeah.
that you did
Hmm.
seeing this? And he
Yeah.
worked for this company for so many years and then he got fired and he was like, well, if you're gonna get fired anyway, if life's gonna throw you to the wolves anyway,
Mm-hmm.
it might as well happen while you're reaching for something that you want.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why it's so dangerous to play it safe. And I struggle with that all the time,
Mm-hmm.
especially now. It's crazy. It's the economy and interest rates and should we
Yeah.
play it safe? Should we play it safe? But like, and I'm aware that I'm saying this from a privileged place.
Mm-hmm.
I have a roof over my head, I have food in my body, I am healthy. I live in a safe, secure place. So I want to acknowledge that this isn't everyone's story. It's not everyone's journey. But for me, even though I come from all that privilege, sometimes I'm like, I'm a little afraid right now. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay. It's okay to feel afraid. It's the human experience.
Yeah.
Step forward anyway,
Mm-hmm.
and you will be rewarded, hopefully.
Yeah. And that is something that I think a lot of people struggle with, where they think it's out of their means or, they're afraid of what'll happen or what people will say if they do fail. But I am always saying this, and there is no better teacher than our own mistakes.
Mm.
And, you might as well give it a shot because, like you said, we're only living this life on this world this one time. So we might as well at least try to get the most out of it that we can. But of course, it's that fear that really stops people from doing that.
Yeah. I think something that's really helped me is surrounding myself with people that can catch me.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have a great business partner, and then my wife, Jessie, manages the tattoo studio. So it's my business partner, Justina, Jessie manages, and then me. And the three of us, we pick each other up,
Mm-hmm.
right? One of us will get on a meeting and it'll be like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. And then the other two people will be like, we got this.
Yeah.
You need that. So
Mm-hmm.
you need to be able to freak out every once in a while, and you need the people around you to go, we've got this. Same thing on a film set. One of those scenes where the couple is fighting and she comes home with this new piece of lingerie. We quickly realized that scene wasn't working on the day. And I was like, my mouth got dry, and I was like, okay. I looked at my first AD, my assistant director, and I was like, get everyone out. So she's like, okay, everyone go have a break. And it was me, her, the actors, and my director of photography, the camera person. And we just took 10 minutes, workshop the scene. We're like, hey, this is the scene. Invite everyone back in. But like without that core group, and without feeling like I could make a mistake, like I could make a mistake in front of them. I knew that we had this trust, and my actors were great, but you work it out. You don't always know what you're doing. In
Yeah.
fact, the truth is, 9 times out of 10, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell the future. So how would I know what I'm doing? And that's
Yeah.
okay.
And that's exactly it. And I think that this challenge and being able to push through and be flexible and adapt is something that we could all make use of no matter what industry you are in, whether it's finance, accounting, arts. You're going to be like propositioned with challenges, and you're going to have to either be able to think through it or back out. And that ability to adapt and to have that sense of, no, I'm going to figure out how my way through this.
Yeah.
That is what people need to think about.
Yeah. I was saying this to Jesse yesterday. You know, it's like I said, it's a crazy time. It's a crazy time to be an entrepreneur or business owner. And we were having a meeting yesterday and we were looking at some challenges and we were in discomfort. We were the crab growing out of its shell, that like, and and it was tough. And I just looked at Jesse. I'm like, you know what? This is our challenge for today. This is where we show up. Who
Yeah.
are we to think that we don't deserve challenges?
Mhm.
Like, really, are we so special that we don't deserve to have to walk through some challenging moments? No, we're not. This is what we're facing today, and we're going to do it, and we're going to face it head on. And as soon as I said that, as soon as I stopped trying to make the discomfort go away, but just stared at it,
Mm.
I felt lighter.
Yeah. And thank you so much for bringing this up. Would you be able to share an instance where you felt against the odds of success and how you were able to overcome that all encompassing feeling?
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, if I look back in the past, there was a time when we were moving our studio from Gastown to Commercial Drive.
Mhm.
We were paying rent in two locations. A global pandemic was still at our heels. Um, and everything was uncertain. And, in times like that, I think your employees, the people that you have enlisted as your team, the people that you've talked into coming to work with you because you've got this, are all looking at you going, what is the answer?
Mhm.
And no one knew the answer back then. Everyone was freaking out. No one knew what the world, and we still don't. I mean, I think we're still all experiencing our own version of PTSD.
Yep.
So in that moment, I was like, okay, how can I show up as a leader, but still be authentic? Not bullshit people to say, because everyone can read through that. And so, yeah, I found that really challenging, and I found the way forward was to know that I was doing the best I can,
Mhm.
to know that my entire team was trying to show up the best they could, to know that my future self would have understanding and empathy for me. Because I'm
Mhm.
always worried, what's my future self going to think of this decision right now that I'm making? What if I regret it?
Mhm.
But if you can honestly say when you're making decisions in that moment, I really thought this out and I did the best that I knew how in that moment.
Mhm.
Then everything else is just going to fall where it may, where it's supposed to. The chips are going to fall where they're supposed to.
Mhm.
And I've stopped over the years, like first 10 years of business, I held on to things so tight.
Mhm.
I tried so hard to control, control, control. And now I try to prepare, let go, prepare, let go, prepare, let go.
Mhm. Mhm. And that letting go is something that is definitely so hard. People do hold on to things like just like you mentioned. And decisions are so hard because you think, "Oh, what's my future self going to think? What are other people going to think? How is this going to impact me?" That's why I'm so indecisive. It's
Yeah,
easier just to let other people around you decide what's going on, but at the end of the day, that is doing yourself a disservice.
it is. We always joke around, like when I was a teenager, I'd be like, don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
I know everything. And now as an adult, I'm like, please tell me what to do.
Yeah. Exactly. It's so much harder to
It is, it's
actually
hard.
think and decide for yourself and,
Hard.
live with the repercussions, not be like, "Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, that was all my mom." No,
yeah,
it wasn't, girl. It was all you.
yeah. But it's we're gonna make decisions. There's a thing I learned this in COVID because it happened to me, decision exhaustion. because every day was a new decision, and every day we were making decisions we didn't know because we'd never experienced this before. And it was coming at us from all angles, the health aspect, the finance aspect. Um, so we were having decision exhaustion, but I found comfort in other people's discomfort. And I mean that like I went to other business owners and they're like, yeah, I feel that. And this is hard and this is hard. I was like, okay, we're in this together. No one is in a vacuum here. We're all experiencing this from our own perspectives, but we're in it together.
Yeah.
And that helped a lot.
Yeah. We keep coming back to this team-based collective piece. So what does that say in, our world where independence is kind of pushed onto us in every aspect? What would you say how teamwork is actually the answer to all these challenges?
Yeah, we need to stick together. We need to hold hands through adversity, even if you're holding hands with someone that doesn't agree with you.
Yeah. Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
through and through. We need to be able to sit at the table and have different point of views and then go out and execute the plan with those people, because those different point of views are going to save you from your blind spots.
Mhm. Mhm.
Team, it's all about team, and not a team of you know, all the same thinkers.
Yeah.
You need people to come to the table. If you're going to have a strong team, it's going to be a diverse team.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I'm always looking for that. I'm like, are you my next teammate? You know, I'm planning to traverse this really challenging mountain. Or do you
Yeah.
want to come with me? You seem like you could help me on the journey, right? Like every video game ever, every movie, Lord of the Rings, like
Yeah.
those were, a group of misfits, a group of very different misfits from all different factions. Like we make movie after movie after movie about it
Yeah.
because that's the way it should be. Um, if you look around the room that you're in and everyone looks like you and talks like you and thinks like you, get out of that room.
Yeah. Mhm.
Run. You're in the wrong place.
Yeah. And in I think the business realm, especially, a lot of, some of the boss people up high up on the hierarchy love yes men.
Mm.
But if you really just wanted to, hear yourself speak, then why do you even have a team?
Just
Like,
look in a mirror.
yeah.
Just
Yeah, like
have
do
your
a sole
boardroom
proprietorship. Yeah.
just have your boardroom full of mirrors.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, this is what I've learned. I produced a play quite a few years ago with a group of colleagues, and we sold out every night. And when I look back, the success of that play was because we were all very different.
Mhm.
We all reached a different group of theater goers or non-theater goers. Maybe people were just first time to the theater, but
Yeah.
because we were such a diverse group, we had a huge reach,
Yeah.
and then we were a success.
Mhm.
So like I'm just trying to do that over and over and over again, but it's hard because
Mhm.
there's this tiny little afraid voice in me that's like, play it safe. Go
Mhm.
with what you know. And then there's my experience, which is no, whenever I've tried new things and branched out, I've either learned something or it's been incredibly successful and or both.
Yep, you are so right. Diversity and inclusion are really the pillars of how we are making an impact,
Yeah.
whether it is an NPO like us or how you decide to run your tattoo studio, having so many different people that make up this, community.
Yeah.
Community is the answer for everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Totally.
Snaps.
Sorry, you go, the Zoom
No,
lag.
that's it. I was just doing snaps.
Yeah, snaps to you too. So while we are on this topic of teamwork, I wanted to discuss your band a little bit. Would you tell the audience a little about the Hyenas?
Yeah, I would love to. We are four best friends, two couples, both married, and we formed during the pandemic. So, Lemonade. Uh, and we love hanging out together and playing music. We're indie pop, I would call us.
Yep.
We look up to bands like Metric, Beaches, Go-Go's. We're big fans of the Golden Girls.
Mm-hmm. How could you not be?
How could you not be?
Yeah.
We all have our let me just show you these these, I don't know if you can see, but these were gifts by my singer. This is Blanche. Like I have the whole set.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's it. That's Hyenas. We tour around in Vancouver. We play festivals. I play synth. My wife plays the bass, Jessie. Our lead singer and vocals and guitar is Sophie, and our drummer is Jen.
Yeah, I love that. And there's something so amazing about, being in a band that really keeps reiterating, hammering this point about the beauty of collectivity, because you have all these different instruments and they come together and create this magic. Like, how is that even possible, right?
And I love that. That's like full circle of what we're talking about.
I know exactly.
That's the success of a project, is harmonizing with all these very different instruments. If we all played synth,
Mhm.
that would be a thing, but
Yeah.
it might not be as dynamic or
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
More impactful.
More impactful.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Luvia provided me with a video of her band. I'd love to show you guys just how much magic, like I said, they're making with their music.
Yay. Thanks, Piper.
Thank you. This is the best job ever.
Saw a ship on the horizon.
music video I've ever seen. And Jen was tearing up the drums just like Tommy Lee. Like, she was
Yeah.
slaying that.
Jen is one of Vancouver's best drummers through and through. We're so lucky
Yup.
to have her.
Yeah, oh my God. That was fabulous. And I think that was such a fun concept. Like, what was the story for the
Yeah.
music video for you guys?
Yeah, so Sophie wrote that song and she said she was inspired by I always pronounce it wrong. There was a group called Nexium or Nexum or something like that. There's an HBO series called The Vow.
Okay.
It started out as a self-help group and turned into a cult, which is its own other like podcast, like talk. We go for hours about that. But anyways, it infiltrated a lot of the acting community in Vancouver. And Sophie was really inspired by that. So she wrote this about being careful. There's always another level. People will hold the carrot over your head and say, follow me, do what I do, and you'll achieve this carrot. But there's always something else that you have to attain. And so I thought, oh, that's really cool. And you'll find out if you watch The Vow that there were these tattoos that some of the followers got. So that was the beginning of the video with the tattoo that Sophie's getting. And then I really wanted to play with what you see isn't what actually is happening. So that's why the floor goes away and the artist flies in the air and you're like, I thought I was looking at the ground. Turns out.
Yeah, that was super cool. Yeah.
Stuff like that. So, and we really want it to be a vibrant, almost comic book-esque feel.
Yeah.
So we ended up getting a grant to make that music video through Creative BC. And that allowed us to go into the studio, a big soundstage for the day. We had stunts and we had rigging, and I just had so much fun. I got to blend my worlds.
Yeah.
Blend my acting, directing world with my music world. And I fell in love. I was like, oh my God, I can have it all.
Yeah. And I love that you bring up how your arts were kind of able to meld into this. And I could see that, like the creativity in the directing. And I could totally see what you mean about the comic book feel. I've seen the boots and cats, and anyone who knows music or dancing, you're always doing boots and cats and boots and cats. But in the comic, like boom, pow font, like that was so clear to me.
Oh, cool.
I love that.
Yeah, we shot that all in one day, and we had lots of rehearsals. And most importantly, the band trusted me. I was like, I really want to do this. I want to direct. They're like, yeah. So, and that's what my plans are for the future too. We're preparing for our next music video. We're preparing to release another album in 2025. So I'm working right now with a friend of mine, and we're gonna shoot in a virtual stage.
Okay.
Which is gonna be really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so lots of more fun things to come. And, I'm so grateful and fortunate to have a group of colleagues that are like, go for it, Luvia. Yeah, we'll follow you, we'll help you, we'll support you. And that's a testament to true friendship and true collaboration, I think. So.
Yeah, going back to what we said about collectivity, and shout out to the hyenas. Thank you guys for putting on that performance for us.
You bet.
So while we are, delving deeper into all of your different sort of creative outlets that you have, how do you find that art allows you to cope and navigate with your challenges that you've faced in your life?
I mean, I think it's so important to know yourself as a businesswoman, as an artist, as a human being. Things are going to come up. Whenever challenges come up, whenever I'm in big feeling, I used to go, fix my feelings, compartmentalize my feelings. That was the young version. Now, the more mature version of me is like, okay, I need to slow down. I need to unpack why I'm in such big feeling right now. And sometimes that's just a conversation with my wife. I'm like, oh, and then I'll have a realization. I'll be like, oh, that's what's going on for me. And when I can understand the source of what's going on, at the very bare minimum, now at least it doesn't control me. I used to have an acting teacher that always said, the dog is supposed to wag the tail. The tail is not supposed to wag the dog.
Yeah.
But when we ignore our feelings and walk through life, our tails are wagging us. We have no control. We're just free flying.
Yeah.
And so I guess like, it's funny. Life is about hypocrisy in a way because I just said, let go of control, but also like don't allow your feelings to rule you. At least acknowledge that they exist. So
Yeah.
my answer to you, Piper, is my artistry helps because it's helped me to understand who I am. Acting saved my life. Acting by taking on all these characters and asking myself the question, how would I show up if all these circumstances happened to me? I started really getting to know Luvia.
I love that. And you had to step into other people's experiences. Yes, they were fictional, but I can guarantee you, with the, I think, 8 billion people that are on the planet now, that someone has experienced that exact same situation. And, learning how they dealt with it in, playing that character would also teach you a little bit about how you would want to deal with it.
Oh my gosh, Piper, you just made me think of something so beautiful. We are always telling our story, but we're also stewarding other people's stories. So every character that I've played has been someone's story. Someone lived that moment. So like show up, respect other people's stories. I don't know. I that just like really hit me just now. The importance of that, the importance of and the responsibility of carrying people's lived experiences in your story, whether you're a business owner or a storyteller. I mean, business owners are storytellers.
Yeah.
We're all communicating an emotion. Like marketing 101, we're not selling clothes, we're selling feeling. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, and that's what I'm keep speaking to my staff about. People come to the studio. Yeah, you're all great artists, but they come here for a feeling, for an experience. So what is the feeling of Liquid Amber? Liquid Amber is a safe space. Liquid Amber, I can be myself. Liquid Amber, I can be safe. Liquid Amber, I'll be taken care of. That's what we're trying. That's the story we're trying to tell.
Yeah.
There it is,
Totally.
man. Know yourself.
And I love that you brought it back to Liquid Amber, because when we originally spoke, there's something so niche about what you're doing. And to connect to that marketing piece, to create a successful business that has an impact on people, you have to be solving a problem. You have to be setting yourself apart by finding something that is going to be unique that you can really build upon. So I know that Liquid Amber has a kind of unique way of, working with their employees. So could you elaborate a little bit on what makes you guys so special?
Yeah, so early on, like I said, we didn't have the playbook, and Justine and I decided, what if our staff were employees? What if they weren't contract workers? And that's not to say that, we don't have contract workers. We have guest artists all the time, because that's just a part of the tattoo industry. But what if we created a safe landing space for our artists where they could go on maternity leave, have critical injury insurance, be protected. When a world pandemic happens, they can collect EI, you know? And so, I mean, that affirmed everything for us when that happened. And so we just did it. And no one was doing that. And I don't know of a lot of studios that are doing it still to this day. Why? Because it's really expensive. But beyond that, for us, it was the only way we wanted to move forward. We really want Liquid Amber to be a collective, a unified collective. And in order to do that, we wanted to bring them in and shelter them under the employment and protection of our business. And so we still do that to this day. I stand behind it. And I'm really proud of it. I'm proud that we were able to build that and really create it. Like no one is, I'd love to hear of another tattoo studio that has employees and pick their brain because it is so rare.
Hmm. I love that you are talking about, again, creating this sort of space. So, what advice would you have for other women and other people that are struggling to carve out their own space in these industries and make it more of a family collective type thing?
Mm. Find your co-conspirators and hold them very close. These are people that are your best friends. You're essentially going to be married,
Hmm.
right? So marry the right people if
Yeah.
you're going to go into business with people. Um, it's the same across the board. If you're going to make a film with people, know these people. Filmmaking is not hard. It's not. Running a business, I mean, it's sure it's hard, but the hardest part of it is going to be the community of people that you stand shoulder to shoulder with.
Mm-hmm.
Those day-to-day challenges, you have to want to go back to the table. You know what? I have to have a really hard conversation today, but you know what makes it okay? I get to have it with my best friend
Yeah.
or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I get to have it with this group of people that I enjoy being around. My nervous system is freaking out because the world is throwing me challenges, but it's calmed because I'm with these people doing it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You need that.
Mm-hmm.
You need that. That's so find your co-conspirators, find your best friends. If you're going to start a band with your best friends. Um, you don't always necessarily need to look for the best musician on the block. Yeah, I mean, that's a bonus if they're really good at their instrument, but it doesn't mean anything if you don't get
Yeah.
along.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean anything because you're not going to stick together. You're going to break up.
Yeah.
The band's going to break up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The bands that succeed are the bands that stay together. The
Yeah.
films that succeed are the films that get finished.
Mm-hmm.
The businesses that thrive are the businesses that stay together.
Yeah.
Uh, and so in order to do that, you need to start anything you do with people that you really love and
Mm-hmm.
trust. If I
Mm-hmm.
fall backwards, are you going to catch me? And
Yeah.
if you can't answer yes right away, get out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we keep bringing up just the importance of, the people around you, and it's going to be dual effective. So, you mentioned that you're going to have this difficult conversation, but at least you're having it with, your best friend and your team, and there's that shared love. So, obviously it's going to be nerve-wracking because confrontation sucks, but they are also going to feel supported and that, this is for the benefit of all of us, and so that we could keep growing and keep proving and keep developing. And you are so right. Look at all the great bands like Motley Crue, like one of the greats, and none of them are friends anymore. Like that's and like what a shame that is because while they had such an amazing peak, that peak fell off like way sooner than it needed to, right?
Yeah, it did. Um, yeah, so I think that's the key is just is make sure that the people you're walking next to
Mm-hmm.
are the people that you enjoy the most in the whole wide world.
Mm-hmm. You are so right about that. I wanted to ask you, what message do you think, whether we've talked about it yet or not, you would like to convey through your work for other aspiring female artists and entrepreneurs that are, kind of afraid to step into that role?
Hmm. The same message I try to tell myself every day, which is you deserve to be here. Your value is neither gained nor lost. It is your right as a human being to have value. So when you doubt yourself, doubt whether or not you're good enough or you can achieve it, just show up. Just show up because you belong there. You belong wherever you want to be. I was having a chat with a really good friend of mine who's going to be directing our next music video.
Hey.
And I was like, Nessa, sometimes I think, should I be a director? What if I'm not a good director? Maybe I should be a producer because I like to organize things. I'm struggling. She's like, what do you want to do, Luvia? I was like, direct. She's like, then just direct. Who cares?
Mhm.
If your heart says that's what you want to do, then just do it. Who cares if you don't fit the mold, if no one has done it the way you've done it before? None of that matters. This life is a ride that it's yours to ride.
Mhm.
And again, I want to acknowledge that I've had a very privileged life. Not to say that I haven't experienced hardship. I have. Every human being has. But I have safety, I have food, I have shelter. So it comes from that perspective. But if I want to do something, and that's what makes my heart sing, then I should just move forward and do it. Don't
Yeah.
wait till you're ready. You'll never be ready.
Yeah.
And I think for women especially, we're like, well, I don't have the stamp, I don't have the degree. I should back up. You know what? I've noticed a lot of my male friends, they don't wait.
Hmm.
Who was I talking to? Oh my gosh. I was talking to my best friend, Jen, from high school. She she just had an epiphany. She's done everything. She's been a lawyer, she's an artist, and she's like going through a transformation in her life. So she takes a friend for a walk. She goes, "What should I do? I'm looking to earn a little more income, this and that." And her friend looked at her and was like, "Oh my gosh, I need you. Come and work for me at the university. You can help me write this and write that." And Jen looked at me and said, "You know what I just realized? That's how men do it.
Yeah.
You go for golf games, get hired, and get paid, six figures. I went for a walk in the woods and I got a job."
Yeah.
Um, and she's like, I think that's what men experience. Not all men, but like we were joking around about like ask for what you want
Yeah.
because the old Jen might not have. She might have kept all those things she wanted to do a secret because she was like, "Oh, I'm not ready. What if, you know what I mean? What if, what if, what if?" No, you want something, tell people.
Yeah. Hmm.
This is a lesson I'm trying to learn, so I'm going to watch this back and try to hear it.
Hmm. I love that you bring this up, and it reminds me of a statistic that I've come across,
Tell me.
where it's like applying for jobs. Um, Men will usually like state they have full competency in skills that they haven't fully developed, where
Right.
women will undersell the skills that they have. Like, oh, there's probably someone better at data
Analytics.
analytics, whatever. But I like that you are saying like women just jump out and go for it, because the worst people could say is no. The worst you can do is turned down, but people could say yes, or another opportunity will present itself. So what is the point in selling yourself short when you don't even know if that is something that you're incapable of doing?
Yeah. Oh, Piper, I needed to hear that. And I need to be reminded of this
Mm.
always, I sometimes and I have colleagues that are the same way. Like it's so great to hear that other people are struggling too. You look on social media, you're like, wow, everyone is having such a great, wonderful life. But when you have a conversation with these people, you take them out for coffee, you realize, oh, this is a struggle. And every day I wonder, is this the right direction? Is that the right direction? But like that's the human journey. If we were without struggle, where's the fun in that? If everything just
Mhm.
landed in our laps, right? So it's got to be a journey. How boring. I don't know why I'm on Lord of the Rings all of a sudden today, but how
I'm
boring,
all for Lord of the Rings, by the way. I'm right there with you.
how
Yeah.
boring would that movie be
Yeah.
if they were like, oh no, no one wants this ring. It's fine. Like the end. Like
Well,
what?
they wouldn't be 4 hours long, that's for sure.
If
Right?
people were like, I tried the ring on. It's okay. It's
Yeah, like, no, it's like, no, this is gonna take over my entire life and
yeah,
soul and everything.
gotta be a challenge, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I love that you bring this up about how challenge is necessary to our lives, because we are unable to feel happiness if we don't experience sadness, grief, anger, because then everything will just become, yeah. And that reminds me of the saying like money can't buy happiness. And it's like when you have everything, you have want for nothing, and you can't actually feel that amazing excitement. Like when my mom, so I'm also so privileged, shout out to my mom. My mom bought me my first car, and it was a total POS, a Cobalt. um two doors, like, but I love that thing.
Yeah,
Like,
you did.
I ran that into the dirt, and like, I will always be so thankful for that. And it's like, imagine if a rich kid was gifted a 2013 Chevy Cobalt with a messed up hood. Like, that'd be like the world is crashing and the sky's raining down on them. Like,
Right.
if you don't have that hardship, you're not going to be able to actually appreciate the happy things in life.
Yeah. Oh man, Piper, you just nailed it. That's it. That is so it. I love first car talks. My first car was a 1978 Dodge Dart,
Mhm.
4-door. And I remember when my parents were like, "It's your car." I was like, "Oh, I washed that thing. I
Yeah.
even washed the rust on the side of
Mhm.
it. And I put a stereo system in there that was more expensive than the entire
Yeah,
car."
mine had a sub too. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, good times.
Yeah, I know. So, that's a reminder, everybody. Don't get too bogged down in the badness because it's got to come around. That's how life
Mhm.
works. It's in
Yeah.
a cycle.
Yeah.
I would love to, ask the audience if you had any questions for Luvia, please share them in the chat now so we can get a couple, one-to-one questions. And while they are coming up with that, I wanted to ask you, what are some of your future projects or goals that you're excited about?
Yes. So, well, tattoo shop stuff. We have been, we've spent over 20 years really forming the liquid amber tattoo portion of our business. But there's this other part of our name and art collective.
Mhm.
And now we're like taking a look at, okay, well, what is that?
Mhm.
So 3 times a year, we shut down the tattoo studio early. We invite vendors in. We showcase a local artist. We just got into Art BC, which is this guide, Art BC guide, so we're part of an art walk. We are basically just hosting local artists of all mediums, which was always our dream. Yeah, that nugget, that seed, when we went to that art studio and we saw all these mediums of art, and tattooing was just one of them. So we're really starting to focus on the art collective part. I'm really excited about that portion of our business. And what I love about it is it's scalable.
Mhm.
So for tattooing, you need a human being in a chair and you need another human being tattooing them.
Yeah.
We haven't figured out a way to, branch out from that.
Mhm.
But with the art collective part, that is scalable worldwide. So we're like, oh my gosh, we could do so much. So now we're just
Yeah.
really focusing on that. We're
Yeah.
starting with art show, art socials, we call them. But we're really hoping to scale that up online and beyond.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm super excited. And I love the idea of bringing the art gallery aspect into a already creative space because you've got walls, don't you?
We got
Unless you're tattooing outside, you might as well put up some local art and, bring some exposure to some of the other amazing creatives in the community.
That's it. That's the key.
Hmm.
So that's the tattoo shop future. Music future. We are, like I said, we're planning our next
Working
music
on that
video.
album.
Working on
Hmm.
our album. Our album's going to release in 2025 sometime. So keep an eye out for that.
Hmm.
Acting wise, I'm actually on a show right now. I can't tell you what it is, but it's a comedy.
Okay.
Meant to be funny. So
Yeah.
that is a whole new and exciting world for me that I can't wait. I have no idea when it's going to come out, but I'm assuming in the not too distant future. So I'll be posting about that when that's out.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think those are 3 really fun, exciting things that I'm looking forward to.
Well, I cannot wait to see you on that comedy show. I'm going to have to follow up with you, make sure that I am up to date with all of the upcomings that you have. And yeah, I think that's awesome. So, everybody in the audience, I'd love for you to be able to support Luvia in any way that you can. And if you enjoyed that music video, tune in for all the amazing things she's got coming up with the hyenas.
Do it.
All right. I wanted to ask you, who is someone from your network that you have met, in your experience that you have been in over the past couple decades, that you think would be an amazing asset to have on our show?
Oh my gosh. What a question. So I could give you a list
Mm,
of people, which I probably will after this. I'm one of these people, so this is a true thing that happens to me, and I'm still unpacking it. But like when I'm on the spot, my brain goes into like fight or flight. So this is something funny. I'm totally segueing right now, buying myself time. But this is something funny that happens when I introduce, like, let's say my wife or my friends to people. I forget everyone's name.
yeah.
Even my wife's name. I'm like, this is my wife, Jessie.
I'm sure she's got a name. Yeah.
I know she has a name. Still getting to know her.
Yeah.
Over 10 years. Okay, I know this. So that's just something that my brain does. And I think I've unpacked the why, and I'm working on it. But yeah, I mean, the first person that comes to mind, just because I'm working with them right now, is this director that I'm going to be working with, Nessa Arif. Um, I first met her as a producer when I was doing a directing shadowing job, and she's a producer. She's head of production at this virtual studio in Vancouver. She's also a director, and she's kind of one of my heroes. She also
Okay.
happens to be a lovely human being. So that's the first person that came to mind. There's this other woman entrepreneur. She's a photographer. Specifically, she's a boudoir photographer.
Mhm.
A tattoo studio just did a collaboration with her. Her name is
Cool.
Tina. Her handle is Tina Shoots Boudoir. And she's a great networker of women. So I can send you their contact. That's someone else that I think would
Perfect.
be fantastic. Yeah, I'll leave it with those two people for now, and then this whole list will show up after I
Perfect. Well, I can't wait to meet some of these lovely women. I am definitely a girl's girl when it comes to um, meeting inspiring women. So I
yeah,
am right here with you for that.
cool.
All right, we've got a question in the audience regarding our topic of teamwork that we kept, bouncing
Hmm.
around. So, should you keep around team members who are trying to bring down the industry by all means?
Ooh. If there's if you feel like there's a sour apple in the bunch of apples, that's kind of how I'm hearing that question. Here's the thing. Um, my go-to always is there's a why, there's a reason. So I always like to see the best in people, sometimes to a fault. So take
Me
this
too.
answer.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So take this answer with a grain of salt, as they say. Um, but really, I would get into a one-on-one conversation with this person first and foremost and give them an opportunity to unpack what's going on for them, and see what you can do to support them through that. Because like I said earlier on, you need a diverse group of people to help you weather the storm because you don't know what the storm's going to bring. And that person might have the very characteristic that you
That
need.
you
And if
need.
you let them go, oh no,
You're screwed.
where's
Hmm.
where's Jane, or whatever. Like, oh, Jane knew how to do this, and we let her go. Um, so I think the reason behind what this person is bringing to the table, if it feels sour to you, first unpack it with them. And if you try, like I like mutual breakups.
Yeah.
I think of it like a relationship. If you're dating someone and neither of you are happy, hopefully you can come to a mutual understanding of like, you're not happy, I'm not happy. Let's be cool, let's break up. And because we're doing this together, let's divide all of our assets.
Hmm.
They say you really get to know someone when you break up with them.
Hmm.
They really show you their true colors.
Yeah. Hmm.
And so, and I'll end on this. Recently at the studio, but throughout the years, we've had artists leave and come
Yeah.
back.
Hmm.
It is so important for people to go branch out, experience the world, and then realize, oh my gosh, I'm going to go back home.
Yeah. Hmm.
So yeah, maybe you're going to let this person go, and maybe they want to go, and maybe they'll realize, you know what? This is good. I've experienced things, and I bring back news of the outside world.
Yeah.
I bring
More
back assets.
experience to learn
Yeah.
from.
Yeah, look at I've traveled the world, I've traveled the seven seas, and I bring back all these jewels,
Mhm,
you know,
mhm.
and they make you better. So I think our reaction is typically to defend ourselves, but hold on, just breathe. Nothing is coming at you at 20 miles an hour. This is advice from my business partner. She always tells me, slow down, Luvia.
Mhm.
And that's really good advice. Slow
Yeah.
down, have
Mhm.
a conversation. You're both human beings with feelings. You have more in common than not.
Mhm.
Don't forget to breathe.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's my
Mhm.
advice.
You are so right. And that connects us all because, we are living this life for the first time, all at the same time. So, at the end of the day, we do have more in common than we don't. Whether cat person, dog person, blue or
Yes.
pink, whatever. We
Yeah.
still have that foundation of us being humans looking for the same things here at the same time.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yep. So, we've talked about teamwork, challenging the odds, how we can, find ourselves more at home in the world and to not second guess yourselves. We've talked a lot about ways that people can, you know, take a chance on themselves and take a chance on the people around them. I really think that that is impactful. So, I wanted to ask if there was any last words you wanted to leave our audience with today before we wrap up on this fabulous episode.
Today has the potential of being the best day of your life.
Mm-hmm.
It has
Mm-hmm.
that potential. I say that with privilege because the sun is out and I'm in a safe space.
Mm-hmm.
But if that rings true to you, go live it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah, live that life. And, that is something that, if people are going to go look back and listen to this episode, that is something that was definitely rooted and intertwined with all of the subtopics that we talked about. So I really want to thank you so much, Luvia, for, taking a chance on LC and our program, Boundary Breakers, to try to, make a difference and get the word out there. And thank you so much to everyone in the audience for all the love they showed. They really had appreciation for all your work that we've showed and the relatability of what you had to say. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning into this episode. I know it was an amazing one for me, and my heart is just so full with everything that we've talked about. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Piper.
We'll catch you guys in the next one.
Is that, are we off?
It's always Yati's the one that's always letting us know when we're when
Okay, so we'll
we're. I know we should. We actually should have a cue.
or like some outro music where you and I keep
Oh,
talking, but
you
like,
are so right. Let me take that note down.
yeah,
Okay.
like kind of like the end of a game show,
Yeah,
you
totally.
know, where the participants are still talking and it's like, "Ba, da, 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 da," or whatever. You
Exactly.
can have a
Yati.
hyena song if you want.
Oh
I
my
did.
God!
I did it.
You guys should prepare that for us. And
Okay.
Yahtzee, we're good to cut. By the way, I don't know if that was clear because I'm
Yeah.
still seeing us on the stream. But you're so right. Thank you for that idea. That's that creative brain of
There it
yours.
is. There it is. We're just coming up with it.
That'd be more beneficial. I don't think that Yati is gonna cut us. Where are you, girl?
Yati, we need you.
We need
This is the
you.
behind the scenes stuff.
This is the behind the scenes, but it's actually out there for everyone to see right now.
Yeah. You see
You know,
behind the curtain.
yeah, but that's why we hired such amazing videographers so that they could cut this in post. So,
Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna listen.
um,
I'm taking off this sweater because it is warming up out here. Whew.
oh, that shirt is awesome. I love the
Thanks.
pinstripes.
I got this from my aunt who might be watching right
Hey, shout out, Auntie.
now. Shauna, I think it's from Shauna. Yeah, Shauna, I think this is your shirt. It's either my aunt or my mother-in-law, Lisa or Shauna. I can't remember. It's one of them. But yeah, listen, I don't mind sharing this even if we're still live. I am like starting to have hot flashes now. I'm a 46-year-old woman. The time is now. So like, whew, when it happens, I thought hot flashes were gonna be like, yay, I'm gonna be warm because I'm perpetually cold.
Mhm.
I'm here to tell you, Piper, that's not how it is.
No?
No, it is not pleasure. There's no warmth. It feels like someone is cooking you from the inside out, but with an uncomfortable cold heat. It's clammy, it's painful almost. Yeah, there's nothing. I was like, I'm gonna be the one that likes hot flashes, and I can tell you I'm not.
Yeah. You know, I love that you bring